I've been seeing the future and it's sitting right here on this Mac Mini. Over the last 48 hours, I've been testing an AI tool that punched a hole in my brain. It called it ClawdBot. It's a 24/7 AI agent employee that works for you all day and night. It can control a computer. It has infinity memory. It can do anything a human being can do. It's literally like having your own employee. I'm saying this straight. This is the best tech I've ever used in my life, and it's the clearest use of AI I've ever seen. This is what Claude Cowork was supposed to be. I'm going to show you how it works, how to set it up, and the 6 things I've done in the last 48 hours with ClawdBot that changed my output. Then I will tell you why this is the part that should scare you a little. Because once everyone has this, the whole game changes. Stay to the end and you will have a full-time 24/7 AI employee working for you. Let's go. This is my screen is ClawdBot. This is a local gateway running on my Mac Mini. It's right here on my desk and it has this AI agent working for me 24/7. The best part about this is it's an open source project, so it's not owned by any big company that can spy on you or mess with you. It was created by Peter Steinberg. He's a successful entrepreneur who's now dedicated to this project. He's a real one for putting this out and giving this to the world, because this has absolutely changed my life and it's changed the life of a lot of people I've talked to. So shout out Peter, make sure to go follow him on X. So this is running on my Mac Mini, and it can control the entire computer. It can pop open browsers. It can do work in Google Docs. It can look at your Apple Notes. It can write Notion document. Anything you can do on your computer, it can do. The 3 parts about this that are straight up mind-blowing are: 1, what I just said, it can control everything on your computer. There are basically no guideways. It's not babysitting you. It's not trying to be safe. It just does what you tell it. Second, it has infinity memory. It has a serious memory system where what you say and what you do gets saved. After every session, it pulls out the important stuff. Then it stores it. For example, in one of our first conversations, I mentioned I have a newsletter. I showed it my last issue so it could see the format. After that, when it was time to write again, it already had the draft ready in my style. That's hours saved every week, and I didn't even ask. The third part that makes this ridiculous is the interface. This whole thing runs through messaging apps. I named my ClawdBot Sam, and I gave it a little brain emoji because it's easier to treat it like an employee when it feels like one. So when I say Sam for the rest of this video, that's what I mean. I mostly talk to Sam through Discord, but you can also use iMessage or WhatsApp and Telegram or whatever. And that's the power. Now, from anywhere, I can open my phone and can text Sam, do this on my computer, write the doc, reply to email, go on Amazon and buy this. Anything you can do on the computer, you can text Sam from anywhere and Sam will go do it. Here's a simple example. I said, Sam, I want to track all your tasks in a Kanban board. I texted that while I was at McDonald's. He texted back a few options. I said, okay, build it. I come back to my computer and Sam vibe coded the whole board with Claude Code. And to be clear, I'm not even the one using Claude Code anymore. Sam does the Claude coding for me. Sam can control Claude Code. He can control codecs and vibe coding platform you use. He opened it, built it, and now I've gotten an agent doing my coding work for me. And if you're curious what the project management platform looks like, here's a quick clip from Alex Finn's video. He showed his ClawdBot setup like this. It looks clean. It looks like linear. All the tasks it completes go into activity. I can create a backlog, assign it, and it starts working. I can track everything across the board. It built this by itself. This is literally like having a human employee. So the first question I get all the time is, do I really need a Mac Mini? No, you do not need a Mac Mini. You can do this way cheaper than a 600 Mac Mini. I bought a Mac Mini for a few reasons. 1, I like Mac OS. It's easy to check what Sam's doing and jump in if I need to. 2, all my devices are Apple, so I can airdrop files fast. For example, the thumbnail for this video, I took one of my template thumbnails from my phone. I airdropped it to Sam. Then I texted to him, take this and make it good for ClawdBot. And Sam has access to basically any AI tool you can think of. So he used Nano Banana Pro to edit it. Third is fun. It's looking over at seeing an agent working on machine on my desk 24/7. That's reason enough. And I know for a fact, this will pay for itself. I'm fine buying the base one, just to make it convenient. And don't need a perfect expensive Mac Mini. You can buy the cheapest one. That's what I did. Storage and memory only matter if you're doing heavy stuff like video editing or running multiple big builds at the same time. If you need the storage, just grab an external SSD. If you want Sam build multiple apps at once, more memory helps. But for most people, base model is fine. There are cheaper and safer ways to do this too. You don't need to run out and buy anything. You can run ClawdBot on a VPS, your own virtual private server. AWS is one option. You can spin up a free plan, then run it. And I recommend it not installing ClawdBot on your main personal computer at first, because this is an AI with basically zero guide rails. It can do anything on your computer, so put it in its own sandbox. If you run it on your main machine and you give it a bad instruction, it can start touching stuff you didn't want it touching. Email, messages, not because it's dumb, but because you are still learning how to use it. So the smart play is a separate environment, separate account. Give it its own email. Don't let it operate under your personal identity while you're still getting comfortable. Another path is going bigger than a Mac Mini or BPS. If you want to go all in, you can get a powerful machine, then run local models on it. ClawdBot is free and open source, but it needs a model powering it. ClawdBot is the framework, the model is the brain. You can use existing cloud service, ChatGPT, APIs, whatever. I also power mine with my Cloud Max plan. So I'm not adding extra AI cost on top. If you want to run it on your ChatGPT subscription, you can. If you want to use APIs, you can. Now, once you've dedicated where it runs, setup is simple, very simple. It's one line. Go to ClawdBot, scroll to Quick Start, hit copy, open terminal, paste it, hit enter. When you run onboarding, you might see a screen that basically says, I understand that this is powerful and risky. If you see that, read it, then click yes to continue. Then you pick your model and provider. I used Anthropic with a Cloud Max account, but you can use what you already have. You can do this cheap or expensive. The most expensive path is API usage, and you can burn a lot if you're not careful. Next is Cloud Max, then other subscriptions. Here's how I think about model choice. Intelligence and personality. You want it smart, but you also want it to feel like someone you actually want to work with. The best experience I've had is Cloud Opus 4.6. It's sharp. It doesn't get lost, and it talks like a real assistant instead of a robot. Personality matters more than people want to admit. If the replies feel steep, the whole AI employee illusion breaks. If it feels human, you actually use it more. After that, you've got ChatGPT 5.3 to ChatGPT 5.2. It's smart, but the personality feels a little robotic to me. If you want to save money, Minimax is the solid option. It's good enough and it doesn't feel that inside. So if you want the best experience, go Cloud. If you want it cheap, go Minimax. If you already paid for ChatGPT and don't want another subscription, use it. Just know the vibe is different. Next is skills, and this is where it gets fun because it's modular. You can add the skills for Apple Notes, Notion, Cloud Code, PowerPoint, to-do list, whatever. I had it managing my things 3 to-do list, so I could message ClawdBot and get what was on the list. Then I'd say, pick one and help me get it done. And it would. So on the skills screen, just pick the apps you actually use. Last step is messaging setup. Telegram was the easiest for me, and I like keeping Telegram just for Sam. But you can use iMessage, WhatsApp, Discord, whatever you want. Pick one, connect it, and you're done. Now, your setup, it takes minutes, but this is the part that takes over your life. Using it right, treat it like a real employee. If you hire someone, you don't just throw tasks at them with zero context. You tell them how you work, what matters, and what your rules are. So once ClawdBot is running, go into main chat and do a real intro. Say, hi, let's build a working relationship. I'll tell you about me. Then you ask me questions. Then brain dump your work, your weekly rhythm, what tools you use, what you care about. The more it knows, the better it gets. That's how the memory becomes useful. First, set up a daily briefs. Tell it, set me a morning beliefs, and add this part include ideas for things you can do for me today. That's the key. Humans don't even know what to delegate half the time, so make it propose work, not wait for work. Second, habit vibe code. Install the CLI tools you use, like a Cloud Code or Codex, then tell Sam to use them. Then give it real tasks. Build the thing, fix the bug, clean up the repo, and the feature. If you already have GitHub repos, tell it to review them and improve them. Treat it like a dev who never sleeps. In Kanban board workflow, it built it, pushed it to GitHub, made a PR, sent me the link. I review when I'm home, and then done. Third, build a mission control Kanban board. If you're going to give it a lot of tasks, don't do it through endless texting. Give it a board, backlog, assigned, done, clean. Fourth, give it its own email account. Forward emails to it, CC it, tell it what to do. Reply, scheduled, summarized, extract tasks. It would handle it. Fifth, build a second brain like this. Tell it. When I text you ideas, organize them, tweaks, video ideas, research, app ideas, make folders, make a simple system, and then it becomes a capture machine. You threw thoughts at it all day, and it sorted them with zero friction. Before I sleep, I literally text Sam, build something cool tonight, and I wake up with work done. That's the mindset. That is an employee that doesn't get tired. If you treat it like that, your output changes. I want to get real with you. This is a part that makes me genuinely nervous. And no, I'm not being hyperbolic. This is the most insane technology I've ever used. It feels like I have employees. For the first time, I can see the path to a one-person billion-dollar business. I don't need a team the way I used to. This is a team. It's better than a human team in the ways that matter. It works 24/7. I'm a solopreneur, and I feel like I can completely with anybody. So why am I nervous? Because this isn't someday. It's now. I thought this was 10 or 15 years away. It's not. This can replace people now. I think a big chunk of the workforce is about to get wiped out by this. When managers and companies get their hands on this, the questions start immediately. Why do we have a lawyer? Why do we junior roles at all? Why do we have an executive assistant? Why do we have a security? This is going to hit hard, and we are not prepared. We don't have systems for it. We don't have health for it. It's going to hit like a hurricane. That's what makes me nervous. But here's the problem, you can't stop it. Innovation doesn't care how you feel about it. When the industry revolution hit, people tried breaking machines. People tried stopping companies from using them. It didn't matter. This won't be different. So you've got two options. You can try to stop it and lose. You can sell it bad. Say we can't do this, and you still lose. Or you embrace it. You use it. You take the upside and you adapt. Will there be disruption? Yes. We're not prepared. This is moving faster than anything we've seen. It's going to be massive, but you don't get a vote. So you can either roll over and die, or you can get on the front edge and use it. I think you should be on the front edge. That's why you turn into this channel, to stay ahead of what's actually real, to stay new to tech and learn how to use it before it becomes normal. So subscribe and turn on notifications to our channel. Because if you miss the moment these tools drop, you will be playing catch up, and catch up is expensive. Take action today as of filming. This is a Friday. If you're watching this on a Friday, go install ClawdBot. Start using it today. Don't sit on this. You do not want to be left behind on stuff like this. This is as cutting edge as it gets. I will see you in the next video.